You've spoken a lot about how cooking came into your life in a very difficult phase. So,
Yeah.
जब आप पीछे देखते हो, when you look back now, do you think food? She's a MasterChef India winner, a global culinary name, and a story of resilience that goes far beyond food. This is Shipra Khanna. Hi, Shipra. Okay.
I
Let's start with you've spoken a lot about how cooking came into your life in a very difficult phase. So,
yeah.
जब आप पीछे देखते हो, when you look back now, do you think food healed you or it just gave you, a way to survive?
Initially, food was definitely survival for me for many, many, many years. But today, where I stand, it's given me a voice that people that I'm heard and people listen to. So it's definitely been a very stable. Uh, how do I say it? Like it's given me a lot of stability and been a very big constant in my life.
Okay, that's a lovely answer. I think something should be always constant in life. Yes. So, okay, after MasterChef India and you won it, so everything changed in your life publicly, but privately, what was the hardest adjustment, which you made and which no one talks about?
The hardest adjustment after winning MasterChef was that I did not know how to. I've never lived an independent life. I've always been mollycoddled and, had a pampered life. I've just been like, from one cocoon to the other. So I did not know how to just survive on my own.
Right.
I didn't know how to go to a bank or, do like normal things that you do, things like
Okay.
that. So I was just like, I didn't know what struck me. But yeah, one thing, the only thing I knew is that I want to do everything on my own now. I want to take decisions on my own. I don't want to be just passed around like a baton. I don't want to be just a commodity, playing in other people's or according to their rules. That was one thing I was very clear about that I learned. And I learned from scratch, like everything, life, I learned from scratch.
Okay. And so when, this was one of the questions I had to ask you later on, but I'll ask you right now. If there's something you would like to tell your 5-year-old self now, what would that be?
Uh, if I have to tell my younger self, I would say don't try to fit in.
Okay.
And you're not supposed to be on every table. You don't have to be on every table. You don't have to you know, yeah, you don't have to fit in or you don't have to be the best. You don't have to do anything to which doesn't agree with yourself.
Right. Okay. I think that's a great learning for all of us. Also, start because I've known you for quite some time. So, you've been very open about your toxic marriage. And today, when you meet women who feel stuck, what's that one thing you wish, someone had told you back then?
I have not been really open about my marriage. I've superficially just said that, okay, yeah, it was really a very, very, really, really bad one because I was married really early in life. I was 19 years when I got married, which is super young. When I see 19-year-old girls right now, it's like my heart reaches out to them. And you know that when I told you that today food has become my voice, and this is what I meant because my whatever I'm doing in terms of my career or everything around it, it's there's a mission behind it for to tell every girl to be self-reliant and independent, because I think if I was independent that time, I would have taken my own decisions and not like been married at 19 years. I was just a child. So I would have stood up for myself, which I did later on in life, but I do not want any other girl, mother, sister, to suffer the same like I did.
Okay. Also, okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for being so candid about it. And it really makes a lot of difference to the people who are suffering. And, when you say something about your own life, about your, toxic experiences, I think it's a really learning phase for others. People can really learn from it. So, coming back to your culinary journey, so you've built everything from scratch, everything. So, but do you still feel like you have to prove your credibility still in rooms with classically trained chefs?
No, I don't feel that at all. I worked. probably 10 times harder than any other professionally trained chef would have. And I've worked all across the globe more than anyone would have. So I don't need anyone's approval, and I stand tall everywhere because I have been in rooms, I've been doing menus all across the globe. I have just done a menu for another property, and the five-star property. So I really don't feel like that. And not only here, but Michelin star chefs have worked all across the globe. So there's nothing, no validation required.
Okay. Okay. So, so people often introduce you as, MasterChef winner. So do you see that as a badge of honor or a box you're still trying to break out of?
No, I think it's really amazing that MasterChef as a property has become so big and as aspirational for people, and that's why probably they not celebrity chef because it's something seriously new to India. So for them, MasterChef is like a really big brand, and
Okay.
my season was the really biggest one till
Yes.
now. It's had like the maximum viewership and max, like it was the best show, best season ever. So probably that's just stuck to them, and plus my story was really strong and it was real. It was not dramatic, I think. So yeah, probably people recall that, and it's a globally renowned brand. So probably that. But yeah, people who know
Still a
me
badge of honor
wherever,
for you. Yeah.
yeah, it is,
And you
why
wear it
not?
proudly. Yeah, yeah, you wear it
Yes,
proudly.
yes. Why not? I mean, why not? Because yeah, it gave me a lot. So, you always have to give ode to things that have really got you there in life. So definitely.
So yeah, you've achieved everything at at a juncture of your life when you left everything and started from scratch again. So has success made you circle smaller and maybe lonelier? वो कहते हैं ना कि जब आप ऊपर चढ़ते जाते हो तो जब आप ऊपर पहुंच जाते हो तो आप बहुत lonely हो जाते हो. So do you also feel that your circle has become really
My
small?
circle of friends is lonely by, not lonely, I would say. It is very extremely selective, but that's by
Right.
choice.
Okay.
Because I think, there are, I mean, this is the world we live in. There are a lot of people who want to pull you down, or, the true friends, like said, you really have to be selective about it. And it's not about, yes, on your way to success, definitely, yes, but that stands for everyone. Not everybody is happy with your success. So you need to select your friends really carefully. And
Okay.
that's what I
And
believe in.
that's what
Yes,
you
yes,
do.
I do. Because
So
I've
you
lost a few in my life because of that transition that happened. I lost my really good friends, and then I really questioned myself, like, who are true friends. But I promised myself to be a friend that I never had who would stick by. And I do stick by friends. So I don't have too many because that'll be difficult to stick by,
okay, okay.
right?
So also, there's a perception that you're very strong and you're very self-made. So what's a part of you that you still feel that people don't completely understand?
When a strength also comes from, I mean, it's not a lie. It's actually true. But, when you face too much at a very young age in life, I think you just learn to be strong. And initially, it was just a cover, to just kind of hide the vulnerable self of like my vulnerable side. But today, I just see life from a very different perspective. And I think, if you put hard work and effort into yourself and you're made from there, your confidence and your strength comes from there. When it comes too quickly and too easily, I don't think people really value it.
That's true. That is true. That is true.
हम्म।
Success धीरे धीरे आए तो मजेदार होती है, I think, and I think
हाँ,
it's
नहीं,
long
आप मेहनत
lasting.
करके, अगर अगर आप
Exactly.
मेहनत करके आगे बढ़ते हो तो आप जिसको कहते हैं यू नो इनसिक्योर नहीं होते।
Right.
लेकिन जो लोग, आप काफी लोगों को मिलोगे जो काफी बहुत, आप जो जिसको भी सक्सेस कहते हैं या बहुत पॉपुलर हैं जो भी लोग, वो उन काफी लोग इनसिक्योर होते हैं। बिकॉज
Right.
सक्सेस, अगर आप, वो कहते हैं ना, आप खून पसीना बहा के आपको मिलता है तो
जी.
वो फल है उसका स्वाद अलग होता
अलग होता है, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल अलग होता है, just spoken like a true chef, yeah, true.
है।
Okay, so what's the most unfair assumption people have made about you? This is what you think, after becoming a master chef.
Oh, like, oh, she's so pretty. She can get anywhere with that.
Oh,
But I don't think, I really don't think like being beautiful has been a very positive aspect in my life, at least, whatever I have seen like my past and life. I really don't think that has any role to play.
okay.
And beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. Like
Of
जैसे
course
वो
it
तो
is.
अगर अगर आपको किसी किसी को सुंदर देखना है, वो उसके किसी भी चीज से आपको सुंदरता दिख जाएगी। लेकिन जिसे नहीं देखना है, वो सुंदर को भी एकदम डिग्रेड कर देगा या उसको एकदम नास्टी हो जाएगा और उसे रिस्पेक्ट या वैल्यू नहीं करेगा।
Mm-hmm. That is true. Thank you. Okay, and after everything food has given you, has it ever felt like a burden to you?
No, not at all. I'm just learning. I love to learn and I'm still learning. Like ये जो हमारा शो है वर्ल्ड ऑन माई प्लेट,
Yes.
इसमें भी सारी चीजें मैं अभी भी सीख रही हूँ। वर्ल्ड
Okay.
ऑन माई प्लेट एक्चुअली जब ये कंसीव हुआ था शो आइडिया, एंड मैंने दुनिया 50 कंट्रीज इज जस्ट थिंग टू से, बट 50 कंट्रीज में मैंने ट्रैवल किया है और एक्सटेंसिवली किया है, और सिर्फ ट्रैवल नहीं किया, एक्सपीरियंस किया है। Right? I've experienced each and every place, like how, not how it's seen, but how it's felt. And that is the story behind World on My Plate.
Ball on my plate. Yeah.
And yes, और ये शो भी बिल्कुल it's not just about food. It's about culture, history, tradition, traveling, tips also, some places, and a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
So
Now, coming to that, so what do you hope audiences take away from the show beyond recipes? Is it culture, like you said, connection, traveling, something, and or something more personal to you?
I think honestly that people should walk away with feeling inspired and to explore, not just food, but also say travel to new places or even have great conversations over a dining table.
Okay.
So because that will be really having meaningful conversations after watching the show. अगर एक इंसान ने भी ये पूरा एपिसोड एक ही एपिसोड देखकर भी they open their mind up to the world, I think we did something right. And I
Okay.
think that will be my that is what I expect the audience to take away from here.
What is the show about exactly? Like,
See, the show World on My Plate, actually, it is about, see, food is how I see it's not about just the recipes, right?
Mhm.
It is the stories behind the
Of
recipes.
course, yes.
And it is more about connection. It's more about सिर्फ रेसिपी से अब मतलब खाना है, no, it is about nostalgia, memories, connection. And I think universally this is the most powerful connection that you find is
Yes.
through food. And that is what we have tried to get with World on My Plate.
Okay.
एंड इसमें हिस्ट्री है, कल्चर है, एक नैरेटिव ऐसा है कि आपको लगेगा मेरे साथ घूमने निकले हो और आप मेरे साथ खाना खा रहे हो, लोगों से बातें कर रहे हो और लोगों से उनकी जो थॉट प्रोसेस है और उनका जो रीजन है या उनका जो मेमोरीज हैं, जस्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट एवरीथिंग लाइक फ्रॉम स्मॉल टू बिग, एंड देयर सो मच, जैसे आपने बोला, मैं अभी भी सीख ही रही हूँ। और
Right.
मैंने इतना ट्रैवल करा है लाइफ में कि मैं मुझे लगता है वो भी कम है, यू नो बिकॉज ट्रैवल, आई विल टेल यू व्हाट, ट्रैवल, व्हेन यू ट्रैवल, it really changes you.
It
And
does.
food actually tells, I mean, food is actually something that helps you understand why.
Right. Right.
So,
Right.
World on My Plate is about history, culture, connections, people, and the stories behind food, not just something that's on the plate, but how it is seen and
Did
felt.
did you travel? I'm sure the viewers want to know, did you travel to the entire world for this show and to
So the episodes are from London and Spain.
okay.
And तो जो पहले दो episodes हैं, they are from London, and then we have Spain. We have done a beautiful, port city, which is Cambrils. It's called Cambrils. It's 100 kilometers from Barcelona.
Okay.
And, it's about Michelin star chefs to olive oil farms to
Oh.
vineyards, where I've
Nice.
been. It is like full experience, and it's a beautifully told story through food and culture and connections.
How nice, how nice, how beautifully you've put it all together, what
I
on
tried.
earth.
I tried.
Yes. Also, you brought World on My Plate to life in collaboration with TLC and Warner Brothers, Discovery. So, and how did that partnership shape the way the show tells, its food and travel stories?
The partnership with Warner Brothers and TLC, it has been incredible because they understand, and that's the best part, what I like, they understand storytelling from a global stage, from a
Perspective.
global perspective, right? And they just did not look at a behind the counter show, chalo recipe banao and all that, which is traditionally is something they do, but it was World on My Plate is more immersive. It's more cinematic. It's more, I would say it's more inclusive. Like the fun I've had shooting this has been so much. I can't even, the experience has been so overwhelming because it's so much I learned. There's so much I learned from there, you know,
Yeah.
and having the right kind of, how it is like if you have to write an essay as a child and your teacher understands your perspective and, then you feel like, oh yeah,
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
great job done.
It's a
So
great
it's the
job
same way.
done.
It's the same way. It's been like incredible working with them.
Okay. Any particular restaurant you love in London?
See, London is full of
Oh,
restaurants, and I'll
yes.
tell you what, just not the restaurants, the street food. So
Uh-huh.
we have covered Borough Market. It's one of my
Of
favorite
course.
places
Yes, it
there,
is.
and oh my God, I mean, I can just spend the entire, I can go
And
there
I know,
every
yes.
day.
You can,
And
you can.
you see the food there, you see the variety, you see the people welcoming you and feeding you, and it's a whole vibe.
It is.
So
It
I
is.
think, and other than that, I think, when you go towards, so we have the second episode is in Soho and Notting Hill, and there's so much of food, from all parts of the world.
Oh,
And it
yes.
is so difficult for a foodie like me to say no to it. So I've tried almost everything and it's been really wonderful. And I don't think one restaurant should define the place. That's unfair.
How nice.
It
How nice.
is.
How nice. So, is there a dish that still takes you back to a very specific memory, or version of yourself?
In general, you're saying?
Yeah, in general, or for the show, you thought.
If you, yeah, listen, it is, yeah, okay. So there are a lot of, in the show, I'll tell you because that's more relevant. And then I'll tell you later what
Okay.
is about life. So, for food, like say fish and chips is synonymous to
Of course.
London for
London,
me.
yes.
To UK, I would not say
UK,
London, to
exactly. Yeah,
UK.
to UK, yes.
They know how to make it. They get the best produce, and it's super delicious. And if you go even like if you go north of UK, you will find they serve like mashed peas and all also with that. It's just
Mhm.
not the tartar sauce. It's amazing. And when you come to Spain and listen, Cambrils is a 18-kilometer long stretch, like it's a port, right? So the best seafood, the freshest seafood, whether it's the sardinas or the fish or the prawns which come from the Mediterranean. Oh my God, and they have the langoustine. I mean, you name it, and it's like, you would be like, you will see in the show, I've been eating so much. I've been really eating,
Well,
and
it
then I'm
seems so.
ordering in the hotel and eating also.
Oh
So,
God, okay.
so if the viewers will be like, "Where is it going? Like, how much are you eating?" She's just not stopping.
Okay.
So, but you know what you do? Like the food is so amazing, and you'll actually agree with me. When you taste really good food, you will not settle for less.
Of
So
course.
here, that the food is superb, and you're being. I mean, I was in heaven. My mom, I'm still drooling.
Good
Yeah,
that
it
they did the
was.
show with you, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
You could enjoy the food, yeah. Everything you could enjoy.
I don't say no. I just because there's so much of effort gone behind making food. Even if I don't like it until I'm allergic to it, I would eat it. Maybe not finish it, but I'll definitely try.
Okay, how nice, how nice. Any specific memory, like I said, any Indian food, any Indian delicacy which takes you back?
See, for me, so I will tell you about my personal life. It's like my actually grandparents brought me up when I was very young because I have like two brothers and my one was in the hostel and the younger one was with my parents. So we were building another house. So my younger one was always with my mom. And I would spend time with my grandparents for years. So I always say that, they brought me up and they have. And my grandfather, whenever he would come back from the showroom, he would feed me
Mm.
and with dal, and he would feed me roti. So moong dal and normal roti rice, with his own hands every single day of his life or of my life. He did feed till he was there. And that food is something that's nostalgic for me. That I eat like once, wherever I've traveled and come back home, or whatever food is in front of me, if I'm working, like, right? I'm opening up a restaurant in Liverpool right now. So even after doing the trials and all, when I have to come back, I would like to have rice and dal with ghee.
Dal with ghee, okay, and moong dal to be specific,
Moong
right?
dal and with like a dollop of ghee, bus. Oh
Ah,
yeah.
dal.
Like a little child's meal. No mirchi,
I
nothing.
think
It's just
most
very
of us,
simple.
most of the Indians, go back to dal chawal or dal roti,
Because I think it
because
is
that
so comforting.
it
There's
is.
something about it which is comforting. And then, if there's, like I said, a story attached to it,
Mm.
like in my case, it is something that's always going to stick with you. Then after him, my grandmother tried to feed me, and I was like, no, it doesn't feel the same. Then I stopped eating. Then I started eating on my own.
On your own,
So,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
So when you started cooking, was that the first thing you prepared for yourself?
No, no, I just picked up whatever. It was more of an experiment, honestly, because I was too young. So whatever was in the fridge, I picked up and I cooked something. My father really liked. I think he's my biggest fan. So he's like, "Oh, this is wonderful," and probably it was. I don't know. By the time I reached back in the room, it was over. So I was like, "Okay, cool."
I think parents are, they say parents are the biggest PR, for
Yeah, they are. I
stars.
think their love is for you. It is unconditional in a
It
lot of
is.
ways. And probably, yeah, they'll be the only support, you'll truly have, no matter,
Yes.
even if you're like upset, or, if you're just like say something when you're upset, or just say something or correct them and all, they'll just take it in the right style. They forgive you, very forgiving. I think it's the most forgiving relationship.
It is. It is. It is. It sure is. I mean, I've just heard about it, but yes, it is. It sure is. Yes. Okay. And just this is a small segment. It's called Moments of Honesty. So, when was
Yeah.
the last time you felt truly proud of yourself, and not for an achievement, but just personally?
Oh, yeah, I have actually felt proud of me. I told you, I started my life from scratch. I
Right.
felt proud of me just doing like, so in a lot of ways. So I had I, okay, I'm just looking at how to frame it better. And, I did a lot of things which I would depend on people to do for me, right?
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah,
That's an
and one of
achievement.
one of
Yes.
those things is honestly like finance.
Okay.
And I have taught myself that. So now, so then I'm like really proud. I can sit with the
Right.
CA and talk and all of that. So it's taken time, but yeah, I've done it. So that makes me really proud.
Did you read books for it? How did you do it?
No, I learned it. I learned it in the due course of time with people. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So
So
that makes me really proud, because I was not good in math.
most of us are not. Yes, most of us are not. Yes, but that's such a nice thing for people who are not good at maths, and you can still learn it.
Yeah, you can learn anything. If you put your mind to it, you can really do anything. And that's what I believe. I truly believe in that. And that's what I wanted. I always tell the newer generation, like, there's nothing that's important. And not even newer generation, especially women, because I really want them to shine. Because I think if you pick up women, I was, in that category, I would probably like, oh my God, she's never done anything. And I've heard that, like, oh, you've never done you've not lifted a pencil. So how will you do it? It'll be impossible for you to do it. So and then I've done it. And my brother, it's very difficult to get, how getting acknowledged by your own family is the most
Yes,
difficult thing.
it
I
is.
think you can get the national award and all, and once you come back home, they'll be like, kya hua? Kuch
Yeah.
nahi hua, baith jao. you know. So I think, yeah, my elder brother, he's super intelligent, and the most intelligent in our family. So when he said he's proud of me, I was like, whoa, I did. well.
You will see. Yeah, yeah,
Took
exactly. You would
time,
have
but
done well. Yeah, you
okay.
achieved a lot.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. When was the last time you doubted yourself?
A lot of times. I think doubt is, it's a part of human beings. We live with doubt. And I think the only thing that I have learned in my life is just do it even when in doubt. So even if
Mhm.
I'm doubting myself, I'll just still go heads on to whatever I have thought of doing. So that
Okay.
doesn't stop me.
So it's a daily thing, we doubt
It's
ourselves
it's a
daily
yeah,
and
it's a
we
struggle.
overcome it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's yeah.
Yeah, it's a struggle. I think it's very human to doubt. I mean, if you don't doubt yourself, then you are like a superhuman. I don't think anyone is. They can portray themselves to be, but I don't think that it is. And you should doubt yourself. Why not? It's just giving you a different perspective to the same situation.
Right. Right.
And you doubt and you learn. I think that's also, it's not every step or everything that you put your hands in, supposedly going to be a success. So you need to
Success. Yeah.
take failure at the equal, you should take it well as well. That's what life is all about. It's not a straight line.
It is not, yes, it's not. Yeah, such a nice learning, yes. Okay, so again, this taking a leaf out of the same question, if your younger self met you today, what do you think she would question about you?
Like, how did you do it? What the hell? I would say yeah, because I wear a lot of hats.
Ads, yes.
I my ninth cookbook just won another international award, and it was out of the blue. And I'm opening up an international restaurant in Liverpool now, which is
Yes.
now opening. Like we're
Very,
launching
very
it
well.
soon.
I shall
It's a
come
big
there
thing.
soon, yes.
And yes, yes, please do. You're invited.
Yes, I should.
And yes, and yeah, I think my younger self wouldn't know that I was capable of this. No, my not capable, because I really thought that I'm meant to do so many things, because since I was young, I was in extracurriculars, like I was
Okay.
in dramatics, I was in dancing, gymnastics. So I always thought that I'm meant to do bigger things. As a child, you know how you are, you're full of
Yes.
zest and energy. Oh yeah, I'm going to do it. Then one day that, oh, you're married, like suddenly, like, and you couldn't help yourself, you were thinking so much about yourself, and now here you are, helpless and as can be. And then obviously after that point to this point, it's completely a drastic change. I think I definitely, as a younger me, would be really proud of me.
Sorry. You rebuilt your life once. Do you think you have it in you to start from zero all over again if life demanded it?
I think yes, I will.
Mhm.
I'll do it all over again. I'll
Yeah.
do it even better this time.
The spirit, yeah.
Because yeah, because I'm not scared of that's what probably life has taught me. I'm not scared of I don't fear. I do it in spite of the fear. I'll do it all over again. I'm not scared of it at all. And I mean it, because I'm just thinking to myself, like, probably I need to do it all over again. I need to go back to the, you know, board again,
Yeah. To
you
zero
know.
again. Yes, yeah. Or maybe I
Correct.
would not call
And
it zero to maybe a little experience than what you have today.
yeah, it's still better than where I started. So if I have to start from scratch at anything, I would do it. Ah,
Nice.
yeah.
And is it different from what you once chased?
I have always been a very peaceful and happy-go-lucky person. And peace for me would be people who are close to you are happy, right? That's one part, because it provides you peace. And the second thing is freedom. And freedom is the freedom of thought and expression. I
Okay.
think that gives you a lot of peace. For me, that is peace. When you don't have any drama and commotion around, that's peace. And I did chase peace. You're right. I did chase peace at one point in my life, and when I was married, I just wanted peace. There was so much chaos, and I had just been like in a Zen state all my life. And suddenly this was a volcano that erupted. So that was like the worst part of my life, I would say.
No, okay. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
not all of it was because, I had children, but then, yeah, it's been like a really tough time for me. But yeah, that time I was chasing peace and I just wanted peace. And I think, people today chase money and, all the superficial things. I think I was just telling a friend the other day that, when you have peace and you have freedom, these two things in your life, I think you are the happiest. People don't realize it. They're still chasing money. Money, you don't have to, beyond a point. I mean, I'm not saying no money, that will not be peaceful. But yeah, you need to, after a point, I mean, you can still do with, a, an amount, right?
Mm-hmm.
And offer some a little, some more, but it's not like you have to just keep doing it to just go crazy with it or for it. You know.
Mm-hmm. Okay, understood. Understood. Beautifully put. And thank you so much. Do you want to say anything in the end for the show or for anything? Yeah.
I just want to tell all the people who are watching this to please watch World on My Plate. It's coming on Sundays on TLC and TLC HD and very soon on Discovery Plus as well.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Shipra.
Thank you so much. Thank
Yeah.
you, Swati.
Okay.
Bye.